Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello. So we're trying to simulcast here. So yeah, you might find us in many locations right now. So we got excited about going on because we had this great discussion today. We had some good communications. The funny thing is that with in honor of tax day being tomorrow, we wanted to talk about health and finance.
Finances.
Yeah, and how I found that awesome quote from the Dalai Lama. You know, how he found that perplexed him about man and humanity is that, how we spend our youth trying to make money, and then we spend our money trying to get our youth or health back. So we basically do that. He's basically a great conversation that I've had many times in my life, and this is one that we've had with each other for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's a big part of many of our discussions.
Yeah. I think the one thing that while we study what we study, and actually the people that we service, we actually find, sorry, I have a hair in my face. The things we find with what we're studying is that the challenge often that we have is that the struggle is real when it comes to finances and health. It always seems to be like you have to choose between one or the other, right?
Yeah, when it comes to the impact that one has on the other, the critical piece of it is, are we looking at a short-term impact, or are we looking at a future impact?
Right.
When it comes to how health and finance ties together.
Right. And what we need to do is kind of discuss our own personal journey. We've talked about this before. We both had pretty severe health issues in the age of 20s.
In our 20s.
In our 20s. So our health was already impacted. Our finances were already being impacted by our health. And we kind of got the wake-up call a lot sooner than most. But the unfortunate part about it is that most people don't get this wake-up call until it's so late that they are retired, and now they have to deal. Their retirement is spent on trying to get healthy again, or just working on getting healthy. And as a health, in the healthcare industry, it's a challenge for us to try to convince someone that walks in with diabetes or on the verge, pre-diabetic, and they have to make a decision between coming into the gym and getting a really good plan to help them get off the diabetes versus they walk out the door feeling as though they can't afford our services.
And we'll be honest with you. I mean, we're not the $10, $29 gym. I mean, the reason those places exist a lot of times is because they're just churning people. They don't care if you come in or not. One thing we can honestly say, and our members will tell you with our facility, if we don't see you for a week, we are coming after you.
No, we're coming reaching out.
Right, we're reaching out. Right, we're holding you accountable because, the idea is that you get what you pay for. And when it comes to finance, we value that highly. That people want to come and get the personal coaching that they need from with that perspective in mind. That's why they're coming through our doors. They've tried everything else, and now finally, the idea of it being what they've been searching for has been prevented due to finances. The reality check comes in because
they're already being
they're on 5 prescriptions.
Right, they're being compromised. I mean, both of us are on thyroid medication. We're on Armour Thyroid. We pay almost $40 a month per person. So that's $80 a month that we pay just for a maintenance drug that we need because our thyroid has been destroyed
by all of our previous endeavors when we were in our early 20s.
Right. So honestly, could we have prevented that sooner? Potentially, if we would have known that was a circumstance.
I'm still determined that mine happened when I was I was younger.
Well, yours was contagious on me, but
right. It's not. Don't spread that rumor.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's not contagious.
No, it's not. It just seemed to be that we seem to be on the same path. But the one thing that a lot of us and this is societal, and I totally understand this. I have family that are in finance. My dad was a financial planner. My sister's a financial planner. My other sister, she works in financial industry. And we often hear it's very important for us to put money into our 401k, but in the process, we're working so hard, killing ourselves, putting that money into the 401k, and then we turn 40, maybe even 35. Now, this day and age, it's in our mid-30s that we're experiencing diseases that we only see at a late, has been in the later ages.
Right.
Because
and it's only going to get worse because with this generation, well, and with the new generation,
with the internet, with the availability that, you know, like here we are on social media on a Sunday and we're talking to you because we're available at all hours of the day. We work for ourselves, so we make that choice. But if you work for somebody else and you have a company that says you need to be on a conference call with London or Paris or even China, you are odd hours of the day, you're working all these different hours, so you're sacrificing your health to pay the bills, to put money away, to eventually get to use it. And the unfortunate part about that is that what suffers in the process. Yeah. So there's huge sacrifices that are made when it comes to that. And you know, I think we wanted to jump on here because we thought, you know, tomorrow's tax day. Yeah. April 15th, got to pay your taxes. And, you know, the thought for most people as independent contractors, as owning our own business, we know that what that costs us on a yearly, monthly, you know, year after year. I mean, we've been in business for long enough to know that the cost is substantial, but we also know that we're servicing a clientele that needs us, that needs our help. When somebody walks in my door and they're already on diabetes medication, I know we have a conversation that needs to be had, and they're really important to me because I know they're already at a stage that they need our help. They're already sacrificing too much. They're already suffering from the consequences of their lifestyle. And we want to help them build a new lifestyle. We want to build a different style of 401k. We want to build a 401k that they can, and for their health, we want to put that money in towards their health so they have a long-term, long game. They're able to stay alive. They have
the opportunity to utilize the 401k they're creating, you know, and don't pass on too young or have to use that 401k to just stay alive.
Right, to pay for their health.
We want them to travel. Healthy. We want them to play golf. We want them to be, you know, I mean, what a great lessons based on perseverance today with Tiger Woods freaking winning.
Yeah, you know, how he came, you know, like,
you know, he had every reason to go into a hole and just never come back out again. And you know, it's just about perseverance and what you're willing to do from a mindset perspective, to actually get yourself going again. So you know, we said a little bit about telling our story a little bit. You know, with mine, I mean, I was on high blood pressure medication, almost on, well, they wanted to put me on cholesterol medication, and that was prior to them figuring out my thyroid.
Right.
So, you know, that's always the go-to right away. It's like, oh, your numbers are up, your blood pressure's up, this is up. And that's when I was 28 years old. You know, and once again, it goes to family history. They're looking at the family history, you know.
And that's understandable.
Right.
I mean, and that's what the doctors are trying to do.
But then also the fact that I was 265 too. At that
right. And so what they're saying is that Mike was setting himself up to have like serious problems earlier than his father did and earlier than any generation prior to that. So this is what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of people walking in the door and their health is suffering because of their circumstance and because they're suffering sooner than they need to because they're not making the decision to actually utilize their finances towards getting the health that they need. And the challenge is it doesn't make sense because you don't necessarily understand it, and it's not a priority for a lot of society. We see a lot of ads for saving for college. We see a lot of ads for saving for your retirement. But what about saving for, and I love Summer said this, is like she's like making the investment now so she's able to enjoy it later. So she's making her health investment now. She's investing in her health, right, because it's important for her to enjoy whatever 401k she has later. So her retirement is not spent on medications, on doctors, on testing, and on being stuck in one location. If you like to move, if you like to play, if you like to have a life, if you want to spend it with the people that you love.
Yeah, I mean, basically, we look at it this way. Our light went on when we, like you said, in mine, especially in late 20s. Mm-hmm. It still took a little while, ups and downs along the way. But basically what it came down to was, do I want to, it's not that I want to have a long life necessarily, but I want to be able to continue to do the fun things that I like to do for the duration of that lifespan. Right. So it's kind of called basically the idea of play span, increasing your play span. Even though I've taken a few years off of golf, eventually I'd like to get back to it.
Yeah. You're not going to be a tiger, though.
No. But yeah, so I mean, that's ultimately, we make the choice. Honestly, being in this business, we spend upwards of $20,000 to $25,000 a year on our coaching and our mentors, and she has her coach. I have my coach from a physical perspective. Mm-hmm. We have mentors in the fitness industry. Hey, Rick. Yeah. And we have, and we know that we can't do it alone. Mm-hmm. And we feel as though the financial aspect to it is just its gateway. It's just a gateway to improve your life.
Right.
And when it comes to stuff, stuff gets in the way.
Right.
And what I mean by stuff is all these things, brand new things, Apple 25,
right,
new Mac, new this, new that.
There's nothing
all
wrong
disposable
with that.
Items.
There's nothing wrong with that, but if you're sacrificing, making a decision between doing
right,
something
what I'm saying
for your
is
health,
all disposable items.
Yeah, do
the
something
one
for your
thing
health.
That's not disposable
is your health, your body.
Is right here.
Yeah.
You only get one.
Mm-hmm.
You can get 25 of the other ones. Right? So that's basically the idea behind it is, look, you get one shot at making this your priority.
Right.
Because eventually you don't make it your priority.
No.
And the little bit of money you would have spent to help yourself prioritize your internal workings of your body is now this huge bill that you have to continue to pay, eating up your retirement funds. Mm-hmm. So, that coffee at those $5 coffee shops that on a daily basis,
and you
there was a time, right?
There may be saying that you don't do that.
Right.
Maybe you're like, well, I don't do that. I don't spend money on that. I don't spend money on. I just put all the money away. The thing is if you're putting all your money
right.
away and you're still suffering, your health is still suffering, then why are you making that choice? Why are you putting all this money away? For what? So you can retire and be sick? So you can retire and actually pay for your health at that point?
Right.
Or if you're saving all your dimes and you're clipping coupons and all that other stuff, totally get it. I understand. But in the long run, that money is only going to do you justice if you are able to use it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. Health isn't a financial burden, but an investment for sure. Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly, Renee. Absolutely. So I'm sorry. I interrupted you again.
Yes, you did. As norm.
But did you were looking up cost of disease, preventative, how much does it cost?
Yeah, and basically the top ones are heart, stroke, and diabetes.
Diabetes.
That they cost the United States the most out of anything else.
Right.
In the world, and they're all preventable.
Yeah, they're
preventable.
The top things you can do is exercise and nutrition.
Yeah.
Exercise and nutrition. And if you're lost and you're confused and you don't know how to do the exercise and nutrition, that's why we're here.
Right. And it's easy. It's easier than people.
Right.
Everybody wants to overcomplicate it.
Right.
It's extremely easy, but we get so caught up in this diet, that diet, this diet, that diet. Oh, my friend's doing this. Oh, this celebrity's doing that.
Right.
Wasting the money. I mean, those programs, it's a multi-billion-dollar a year industry for quick fix pills that people buy, for quick fix programs.
Right.
The key here is if you do a quick fix and you don't continue it, and you don't continue learning about what's causing you to keep rebounding and yo-yoing, lose 15 pounds, gain 10. Lose 15, gain 20.
Right.
Talk about a financial burden.
Right.
A financial burden on here. Because you're going up, down, up, down, up, down, and you're having more of an impact on your body.
Mm-hmm.
So, basically what it comes down to is when we sit down with people a lot, and some of them, it can be a stretch for them to afford our services, but they know that we're a personal coaching facility. We are not a freaking gym. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you that right from the get-go. We are there for the people who come through our doors. And what it comes down to is if somebody says to me, well, I can't afford it, and we go through an inventory of how many times do they stop, we're in the Northeast, so how many times do they stop at Wawa a week? The average spend on each trip into a convenience store like Wawa is $10. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, well, I stop there 5 or 6 days a week. All right. So 50, 60 bucks gone. Right. So times that by 4. Oh, geez, that's the cost of our gym membership. Mm-hmm. Stop going to Wawa. Right. These are the types of things that until it's really thought about, for $8 to $10 a day, I don't care if it's our gym. I don't care if it's another micro gym out there that is a personal coaching facility. We've got friends and colleagues all over this world.
Right.
So, it's one of those things where we could point you to some of the most reputable people in this industry to help an individual achieve the desired goals that they want to achieve.
And we're not here to shame you.
No, we're not here to shame you at all. We're here.
We want to help.
Our purpose is to help as many people as we can.
Right.
See the light. Right. Really, see the light like we did.
Right.
I mean, we're not perfect. But we've seen it.
We've
firsthand.
seen the
we
impact
felt it firsthand
from our own families,
and us.
We've seen it on ourselves. We've seen it happen in people that we were unable to help in the process. So it's disheartening and it's discouraging to see someone not get the health benefit that they deserve. You all deserve it, and because of money is definitely important to pay the bills and put the roof over your heads and go to college and all these things, but in the long run, your body and your health, it should not come as a sacrifice to all those other things. It should be in addition to.
Right.
You should be able to have a good, healthy body and be able to go out there and have the successful life that you want as far as financially successful.
And look, all the stats are coming out, and one of the biggest statistics that I don't have it on me right now that I saw, it had to do with the impact that heart disease and stroke actually have on workplace production,
right,
and the impact that diabetes has on workplace production. So we're not talking about the bottom line of the company's health insurance plan. We're talking about impact on work.
Right.
So
it's not just you; it's your coworkers.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a big piece there, and then, there's companies they're seeing the light. They're offering more and more programs and things like that for their employees, which is awesome.
It's fantastic.
Which is awesome. The one thing I would love to see, though, is if Congress gets off their ass and finally gets this FIT Act passed, because then people who don't work for companies, they could actually get a benefit on their taxes to actually be involved in a personal coaching program such as ours.
Right. So they get that benefit. So they're saving enough money on the overall healthcare cost on the society that they should get a benefit back.
Correct.
They should definitely get that buyback. So
That's all I got.
But so we wanted to jump on here because we wanted to start talking about influences. We as a couple have seen it on ourselves. We've also seen it on other people. We wanted to talk about finances and how that can be a major influence. The next conversation we want to have is about your social circle and how it could be influencing you for good.
Well, the studies have come out. It could be just as bad as smoking.
Yes, exactly. That's what I just heard that today. And it freaks me out that the people that you're surrounded with could be just as detrimental to your health as smoking cigarettes on the long term. So think about that. All right, guys.
Peace out.
Yeah. So definitely share this. You know, if you have friends that would like to talk on this, you know, we'll be jumping on here. Obviously, this is like several times that we jump on here. Share this and comment. We love having you guys on here.
Thanks. And I'll be talking about honesty on my side this week.
Yeah, and again, jump on mine. I will be doing some more sleep stuff and how that impacts your health and how important it is. All right, guys.
Have a great day.
Thanks. Was he still in?
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello. So
Did you save it?
Hold on, I just stopped.
trying to simulcast here, so
Yeah,
you might find us in many locations right now. So we got.
Don't you have to share it? You save it before you share it?
No. The share button would have been up.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Oh crap, is it still going?